Is also with us, Professor at Shivaji College, University of Delhi. Dr. Chaurasia, thank you for being with us on NewsX today. We are talking about reform. What are the solutions you want to push? What would you advise as being the solutions to change the system?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. The problem is not just about one individual being at the helm of the affairs, but the problem is that of a system which has many issues within the system. And therefore, I believe that when Prime Minister Modi says that we need to have, we will be having some very stringent laws and we will hold the people committing wrong accountable, then I think this is a very welcome development and should be welcomed by all of us. Because our country is so big and there are so many exams, and it's not just about a matter of some national exams getting leaked, but in state governments also we have seen many exams getting leaked. So I think first of all we need to not just think this as an issue related to the education department, but we need to think as a law and order issue also. And when I say law and order issue, then I mean that our armed forces and our intelligence also to be very much aware and concerned about the developments that have been taking place. Because the way we prevent many terrorist attacks and many such kind of anti-national activities taking place. So I think this should also
we saw that when the NEET happened, that Telegram was banned because there was intelligence that the paper was being leaked on that platform. There was the army and the air force used for the distribution of papers. So it happened with the NEET. Do you believe that should be, it should be so stringent for exams all over? Is that practically achievable?
See, my point is that it should be taken up both as preventive as well as punitive level. So when we talk about preventive level, then I think it is imperative to understand that the thing that was done in the last NEET examination, that was entirely different scenario, because the entire country was extremely concerned, and that is why the government of India made sure that there was no, not even 1% or 0.1% scope of any kind of mishappening taking place, and that is why it used all its resources. The government of India used all resources to ensure that not even one case of cheating or any kind of mishappening emerges. And but this is not something about having Air Force or something like that, but it is about the larger picture.
Yes.
In terms of preventive,
okay.
So the state governments can come up with a very strong protocol.
Okay.
First of all, they need to have involvement of whole of the government approach is required, where you don't have to only being dependent on the education department or the concerned, for example, it's railway. But it should also involve your intelligence. It should also involve your home department. So unless you don't have this approach, I think such kind of events will take place.
Okay, Dr. Chaurasia, also should we take the system digital? Will digitizing the entire exam system help?
Frankly speaking, as a student of social sciences and human sciences, I can not be very comfortable. Of course, digital is something which has done wonders. But I think for subjective examinations where you have to write, it is not very practical because many of the people do not have capacity to type or the questions. Generally, the kind of system that we have. And the other point that has been raised by government also, that there is a huge problem of digital divide in this country still going on. You've seen how during the COVID, when the lockdown took place, and there was a problem that many people do not had the access to computers or laptops or tablets, and even in the rural part of our country, the internet speed was not very good. So these are some of the practical elements that are also critical in order to understand how serious the issue is. But I am hopeful that now that the government is very active and it is realizing that, so it will come out with some of the solutions.
So you're happy with the steps taken, the reforms, the fast-track courts, the harsher sentence in this new law, the other steps taken by the government? You're happy with that? Hopefully this committee being formed as well very soon, the high-powered committee?
Of course. See, the government is a democratically elected government, so it understands the mentality of the people, it understands the concerns of the people, and that is why Prime Minister Modi, who is known for having his ears on the ground, has realized that the people actually are fed up of this systematic failure that has been plaguing the education system of India, not just for last 10 or 15 years, but for several years. Now that he is very much active and he is personally monitoring the situation. So I'm hopeful that on Monday there will be some bill coming in the parliament that will give exemplary punishment and in a time-bound manner. It's not just about justice being delivered, but it should also be about the justice being appear to be delivered. So on both levels, you have to work, the government of India, and it should. The other point that I think many of the people are missing is that the accountability also rests a lot in the hands of the state government. So just like you have
Right.
a very good example of cooperative federalism when it comes to system like NEET or when it comes to system
Okay.
like
Okay.
GST. So I think that this should the same kind of spirit of
Right.
cooperative federalism should
Right.
also be maintained when it comes to examination.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chaurasia, for joining us with your perspective. Let's take a break on that note. Much more coming up on the other.